So, good afternoon, everyone. I just walked out of the house and it was my little weather station by the door said it was 94 degrees out here. There's a nice little breeze, though. As you can see, that's not me shaking. I'm pretty steady, for I'm just popped the top on my fourth beer and have smoked a little and took a couple of doses of kratom, and it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Oh, get down and have a hard time getting back up with my old knees and all. But anyway, I think it was the last video I did, I had walked by and I didn't see that the blooms were so far along. I had pointed out some seed pods that were on it back over on this limb, and that's a seed pod. If I can get him out of the shade where he can be seen. And I saw that one, and I have a pink over here and a white. The white's the only double I have. I don't know the name of them. I think they're, as best I know, they're in the same family with the camellia. There it is. I think that one's a pretty good shot, and the wind's not moving him too bad. That's my pink. And apparently I missed seeing them earlier, and this is right at my front door. I really ought to have seen it. There's a white in here, but these I'd cut them back, and I'm really kind of surprised. And I have a seed pod on the pink one right there, and there's little ones all over the ground down here. I have transplanted some of the little ones that have came up in years past and had them for ages, and they've never attempted to flower. They're not that big. They're really a slow growing thing, and so I've wondered about trying to graft some, but I've never attempted. There's one. The seed pods are pretty much just like the camellia, and if you lay the seeds side by side, you can get them confused. The camellia for the tea out there has the single flower that looks almost the same as that. I had gotten all this up in here picked up and raked up enough that I was able to mow the other day. Still got most all the cedar out there in the front yard scattered around, and I've got to figure out what I'm going to do with it, as far as if I'm going to attempt to make any of the owls or any of the little wooden whatnots that I had talked about. And I'd cut some discs the other day, but I really need to spend some time on getting my firewood cut, or it's going to be a cold winter. And I got the area in there where my trailer usually sits cleaned up the other day to some degree. Got a really nice crop of the holly berries coming on. I usually share some limbs with a friend for Yule time and Christmas. I've been going to save some of the seed pods from the pink here, but I've yet to do it. And I was being curious to maybe, if I put the blue over here, or whatever color you want to call that, that maybe some of them would cross and I might get another color out of it. I know I do that off of the crown of thorns over here. The red and the yellows cross, and I get all kind of other colors from the yellow and everything. I love them once they start blooming and all that. If you treat them kind of half-assed right, they'll just keep blooming. Told some folks the other day I'd thought about downsizing some more, and I have 3 of these beautiful jack trees here I've thought about offering out if somebody might want a jackfruit tree. Got a racer lizard or something. Anyway, they're super fast. The dogs will tear the plants up. And he's there by my sweet potatoes, and I have a rabbit that's been coming up and eating the sweet potato vines as they grow out. But where I was fixing to go was this. I just posted a thing about this is pineapple sage, and I just found out, it's about a week ago I think, that the flowers are edible. And so anyway, I'm very curious. That was just something I didn't know. I had used the pineapple sage in a few different drinks and things, and for aromatics, and had made a smudge using some of it last year. The kratom here have just took off, and I've got to take the time out directly to get everything out and get it moved around. The purple shamrock down here is really doing well, and I love the little flowers on it. My miracle fruits, that was another one I thought about or to share out. And I forget the name of the hibiscus here. The lizard just caught a bug down under there. No, it's some kind of worm that was probably eating on the plants anyway. Can't tell if you can't find him in my camera lens there. Anyway, I have some other hibiscus from my ex. I had gotten 2 different varieties, and I had been able to root some of them pretty nicely. These are like I said, there's 5 right here in the front that I was able to root myself, and that was which this one came. That's the top off of one that I rooted that came from my friend Hector of Hector Gardens. Where I was fixing to go is over here. I have my ginger and my turmeric in here, and another lizard right here. We used to call them, or still call them, old horny toads, but they're not the true horny toad. But on the ginger, I have flower blossoms, blooms, whatever coming up, and there's some back in here. And as I said, I have several different plantings of ginger, and that's the first, and that is, this one is 2 years now that I've had it, and it wasn't dug, it was just I cleaned it off, got all the weeds and everything else out of it, and then started rebuilding it during the summer. And for a good bit of it, that's the way I'll do it next year. I'm really tickled about this turmeric here. I wish it would flower. I've seen pictures of it in flower. But this is it. This is turmeric here too, and it was all planted on the very same day. And those have just kind of sat there, and these is just very happy and pleased to be a plant and growing. But anyway, that's some of what's going on today. Some lemongrass that's probably rooted all the way through my landscape fabric. And I'd showed I had these are a chrysanthemum that have a beautiful little lavender bloom, and or I call it lavender, somebody else called it purple. But anyway, it is what it is. Have a blessed day, y'all.